And for more on this and travel to China and everywhere else, we're joined by Jonathan Kao. He's the Managing Director of Greater China at BCD Travel. Thanks for joining us. Help us understand, so Hong Kong is a little bit different than China. Tell us what the rules are in terms of going into China and the quarantine situation.
Yes, so we had some very good news recently, 2 weeks ago, when it was announced that the quarantine requirement for incoming travelers from international travelers coming into China, the quarantine time was cut in half, so to only 7 days plus 3 days of observation. So I think that is definitely very good news and a step in the right way, right direction. So I think in order for further flight increase, the quarantine times has to be cut because of the available facility. So with more flights, you need more facility. If the continual of requirement of 14 days, then there will be not going to be enough space for that. So I think it shows the government's determination to further opening up slowly with more flights by cutting the quarantine period in half. So it is definitely very encouraging.
So just for our audience, it's right now 1 week, correct? So
correct.
What happens if I get on a flight and I land in either Hong Kong and China and I test positive?
Then you will basically be quarantined in a central facility until you are fully recovered. Then you will be allowed back into the society, basically.
Okay. Now, the reverse for Chinese folks traveling throughout the world, when do we expect that to sort of rebound back to a little bit of normalcy?
I think that it is returning slowly, but with a requirement. So I think going to most countries now, there is no requirement for quarantine anymore as long as you have all the shots ready and test negative. However, coming back is still a problem. So that is detrimental to corporate travel, because if you want to, traditionally you fly to a place for a meeting for a few days and then come back, but having to further quarantine for 7 days is still quite a hassle. So I think we are still a little bit off from that, but definitely there are some, if there are some longer trips, then it's still possible right now. And also we're seeing some very positive signs with the number of increase in domestic flights since the Shanghai has reopened. Now, the number of domestic flights have increased above 10,000 flights a day, which is a key benchmark. We were only at half of that a few months ago.
Right, and we're right now in the middle of summer. There's already talk that there's other variants of Omicron that are floating around the world. I think I last checked, there were like 6 different variants. We don't know what's going to happen in the fall. But these travel restrictions, it seems to me that we're beginning to, I don't want to say the words live with COVID, but we're becoming more used to it, correct?
Correct. So it's the BA.5. There are some cases here as well. So I think it's certainly cause for worry, but I think we just need to continue to observe how lethal the new strain is. But looking at the situation from other markets in APAC and around the world, travel continues to happen and recover very quickly.
So we've progressively seen over the last couple of weeks a little bit more opening, a little bit more opening. What should we expect in the next, say, 3 months?
So I think in the next 3 months, domestic travel in China will continue to recover back to a normalcy. So I think probably get back up to about 75% of the 2019 pre-COVID level. For international, it will be slow. However, compared to last year or the previous year, I think there was definitely a strong improvement from there. So I think it's a slowly opening up of international travel.
Well, this is obviously good news. I have a lot of friends here in the U.S. That obviously are waiting to go back to China, and vice versa. Plenty of friends in China that are ready to go travel and get their life back to normal. Thank you very much, Jonathan. Good to see you. We're going to have more on this, of course, as news develops.